Alright you guys, what's up YouTube? It is your boy JB and I am here today with a review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 5 episode 12 titled Fully Charged. So you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just discuss this episode, shall we? Alright you guys, let's go ahead and get the small things out of the way first. Robin. Let's talk about Robin. So her kids rid her for filth, per usual, them little badass kids. So Robin is in her house and, she tells us that she has this hat line that she started because people came up to her asking her where did she get her hats from, and she was like, uh-oh, that's the market. Ching, 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 ching. No. You are not good with the finances. And she was talking about she's made 7 already and she needs to make 7 more. And one of the little boys was like, so you making 14? Like, that's all? And they were like, well, how much money have you made? She said, I think she said within a month or something like that, she's made $10,000. I'm like, girl, that is not a lot of money, but okay. Especially not from a hat line when you have a store like Lids who makes probably more than that. You know what? Baby steps. Maybe that'll put a little dent in her tax issues. Maybe you know who she should reach out to? Girl, go ahead and reach out to Toya Bush Harris from Married to Medicine. Reach out to Toya and ask, well, nope, don't even reach out to Toya because, I mean, shit, she didn't get themselves out of taxes. That was mostly Eugene. But yeah, that's Robin, you guys. She ain't had shit going in this episode. Bravo. Y'all can demote Robin to friend of the Housewives next season. I don't bit much more give a fuck about her wedding. Please don't make her return as a full-time housewife. Let her and Juan go to the courthouse and get married. Let us move the hell on, you guys. All right, you guys, next let's discuss our girl Karen and Ray. So we see Karen and Ray. So Ray is decorating the house for Halloween and it's like, wow, they filmed this shit almost over a year ago. I mean, we were supposed to get this in May, but damn, wow. I wonder like with COVID, like with all the housewives, their filming schedule is gonna be off now because Potomac, at this point in the year, Potomac would be wrapping up filming would be wrapping up with Potomac. Atlanta would be still in the process of filming, but getting ready to air. What else films around this time of year for Housewives? New York, which New York is filming. I think New York and Beverly Hills are like the only 2 shows that they have right now that are on schedule. I think those are the only 2 Housewives shows that are on schedule for their how the schedules work is New York and Beverly Hills. Because New Jersey, I know that they're off because like most of these shows they film during the end of the year or beginning of the year. Like I know New Jersey films at the beginning of the year. I know Dallas films at the beginning of the year. I know Orange County films at the beginning of the year. Speaking of Housewives, you guys, so going forward, I think I'm gonna add more Housewives shows to the review slot. I know that when the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City premieres in November, I'm gonna review that. It's gonna be on a trial basis and see how I like it. If I don't like it that much, I might drop it. I'm going to get back into doing Dallas. I'm gonna get back next season into Beverly Hills. And I will also do New York since they added a black woman to the cast. So yeah, that's where we are. I'm not gonna do Orange County because, I just didn't want to do it. But yeah, that's how we're gonna go. And I'm not doing New Jersey because I just don't really care too much for Jersey. But back to this show, Potomac, and talking about Karen. So we see Karen and Ray, so they go for a walk. And, Ray asks Karen, how was her trip to Surrey? And, she says, it was good going back home. She also brings up the fact about him saying that he's not in love with her. But, she also said we're going to Surrey. She wouldn't be who she is without Surrey, which I understand that. Because I don't feel like I would be who I am today without my small town upbringing. I don't think that I would be the person that I am today, especially without my mom and my grandmother, who were influential in my life. They taught me so much. And, so yeah, I understand where Karen's coming from. So then Ray also tells Karen that, he doesn't feel like he's getting enough attention from her. And he wonders if the fame and fortune has gone to Karen's head. And, I could kind of see this. And I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for some weeks. I'm like, you know what? The situation resembles what happened with Nene and Greg on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Once Nene got so big, what season was that, where he did that interview with I think it was a radio station, and he was talking reckless about Nene, and that was the demise of their relationship at that time, which we know that they're back together. And I wonder if, for Ray and Karen, I hope they don't go down that route, but I do feel like it might happen. I do. Because, and I get it. I can see it on both sides, but I don't think Ray, the way he's treating her is not right. But I get what it is. Some men have fragile, egos, and they can't handle it when, they got with the woman, she didn't have anything. And so for years, she always depended on him for his money and whatever. But now, with this situation with Karen, her being one of the stars of the Real Housewives of Potomac, her having her fragrance line, it's like, oh, you needed me back then, but now that you are this reality star and, people know who you are, because Rihanna shouted her out. And that's a big deal right there. So yeah, I can see why he feels that way, but it's not right. And I'm not going to condone it by no means. Like, I don't like men who think like that. Just because there's nothing wrong with when you guys first get together, if she had nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. But then if over the years she acquires her own wealth and she becomes a little bit more, shit. Hell, I don't care. Like, we're a couple, as long as we share, it's okay. You make more money than me, cool. The money is still coming into the household and it's taking care of the bills, it's taking care of the mortgage, the cars, whatever. It's taking care of shit that needs to get taken care of. So, me personally, I wouldn't give a fuck. But, some men, they care. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys, next, let's talk about Miss Ashley. So we see Ashley. So she and Michael go to a therapist. And, they talk about their unconventional relationship and how, in the past, they've had threesomes, but they never had a situation where they did it with, where it was just one person in a relationship with the other person. It was either both or nobody. So they played together, not alone. And, Michael is talking about the fact that, with the, Dean in the picture, that, Ashley has changed, which, what do you expect? You guys have a baby. Now, here's my thinking. I get where Ashley's coming from. She wants, stability in the baby's life. I do get that part. But the baby does go to sleep. Don't judge me, you guys. But the baby does eventually go to sleep. Now, I get it. You might not want people, in your house. I get that part. If you was messing with somebody a long time ago and you guys have a great, relationship with one another, then that's different. Make sure if you just have one person that you guys mess with, then, it doesn't have to end. Just be like, okay, we'll have to work out the situation. Like, maybe once the baby goes to sleep, you can come over. But we also you have to be mindful that there is a baby here. If the baby wakes up and, in the middle of the night, then that kind of puts a damper on, our fun time. Like, set boundaries, set rules. But I also get the fact that Ashley is just, on a different wavelength. I do get that. And then Michael is talking about how the fact that he feels isolated. He mentions his dad, how his dad was, very affectionate, showed him a lot of affection, but then he would get drunk and come in the room and go off on him. I'm like, but that's you making an excuse for what you're doing. That's an excuse, Michael. Like, we'll talk about, because I was gonna make a comparison, but I'll actually discuss my comparison when we get to Wendy and Eddie. We'll discuss my comparison. Because Yeah, it'll work. I'll discuss that in just a little bit. So then we later see Ashley. So Ashley goes and visits Uncle Lump, and then Sheila comes over as well. So they're talking about Michael, and Ashley informs Uncle Lump and Sheila that when they went to therapy, Michael really opened up. And I'm so glad that Uncle Lump called this out, just like I did. Uncle Lump feels like Michael is using this as an excuse, and there's no excuse for what he did, and Michael knew exactly what he was doing 100%. Thank you, Uncle Lump, for saying that. And the fact that, I don't know if Ashley truly believes Michael or what when he said that, he didn't have sex with that woman. Shout out to Bill Clinton for that one. But that's bullshit. How do you end up in the bed? Okay. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Say you got drunk and you passed out in the bed. Why were your clothes off is the question. Why were you in your underwear if you got drunk, didn't have sex with her? Why were your clothes off? Because I've done this plenty of times. Pat came home in my apartment, passed out, and went to sleep in my clothes. Wake up the next morning, I'm like, damn, I was that drunk that I still got my whole clothes on. Like, now I might get up in the middle of the night and take my clothes off, but yeah, Michael, you had sex with her. Just say that. So Ashley tells Uncle Lump that, if this situation does happen again, that she's done. Do I believe that? No. And then Uncle Lump says that he wants to see Michael. Him and Sheila both want to see Michael. And, he needs to explain himself to them. I agree. Michael wasn't thinking with his, he was thinking with his head, all right, but not this head. The one down below is the one he was thinking with. But you guys, let's move on, shall we? All right, you guys, and then next, let's talk about Candace. So we see Candace, and she's on the phone with Evil D. And Candace is getting ready to head to the precinct to press charges against Monique. Now, her mom is not going to be able to come with her, and neither is Chris. They're not coming with her. And, then we later see Candace. She went out with one of her friends from Howard. And, they're catching up with each other. She's asking him how was school. And, she tells him about pressing charges against Monique. And how, when it comes down to the girls, Robin and Giselle are on her side, but Karen is kind of teetering in the middle. And that's actually it for my notes right there. So this is going to be me talking at this point. Now, the question of, I didn't get on Twitter tonight, so I don't know what people were saying about Candace pressing charges against Monique. I don't want to see it. We can discuss it here and in the comments. We can discuss it in the comment section. If you guys feel that, Candace was right for pressing charges against Monique, or if you feel like she was wrong for pressing charges against Monique. Now, me personally, I'm going to say I think she would, I'm going to agree with Candace for pressing charges. Now, was this something that I would have done? No. And I'm going to tell you guys why I would not have pressed charges against Monique. Because I'm a different person than what Candace is. Candace is not a fighter. She didn't grow up like that. Her mom taught her differently. And I'm not saying that my mom taught me, to fight or anything like that. My mom always told me not to fight. But what my mom did tell me is, one, don't pick a fight with somebody. Number two, if someone does pick a fight with you and put their hands on you, lay their asses out. And that's how I live my life. So would I have necessarily pressed charges against Monique? No. Because it wouldn't have been that deep to me, because Monique had to if I was a woman and Monique grabbed my hair like she did Candace, we would have fought. Like when security broke us apart, they talking about, escorting me to my car. I'm like, no, you finna let me have it. Like, you finna let me get at her because she caught me off guard. Like, I wasn't ready for that. She caught me off guard. So I'm about to go rag tag her ass. Like, I'm a tit for tat type of person. Like, and then if they said no, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I know where she lives at. I ain't gonna necessarily go to her house, but I know where she lives at. I know places that she frequents. Whenever I see her, it's gonna be on site. Like, I'm going to beat her up. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it wouldn't be no issue of, oh, I'm gonna press charges against her. No, I'm going to whoop her ass is what I'm gonna do. Like, no pun, like, for real. I'm beating that ass. Like, I'm gonna hand you your ass. You wanna make me look foolish on camera? Well, guess what? Turnabout is fair play. Like, it would be like Love and Hip Hop for me. Like, I would be ready to fight her anytime I see her. So, yes, I agree with Candace pressing charges because that's what she knows. That ain't what I know. So, I'm not going to knock her for pressing charges because we can see Candace is not a fighter. So, once again, I'm not going to judge her. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you agree with her pressing charges or if you don't agree with her pressing charges. And that's really, well, that's all I'm going to say on that situation. That is all that I'm going to say. Yep, that's it. Let's move on. All right, guys, and then lastly, let's discuss Wendy. So Wendy and Eddie are having a sip and see for the baby girl Cameron, and it's going to be a traditional Nigerian themed sip and see, which I'm cool with it. So we do see them, and they are out looking for the venue, and they talked about this before they went to the venue. You know, once again, the fact that, you know, Eddie's family doesn't have any communication with him. Oh, excuse me, and I think that's really sad, the fact that the family doesn't have any kind of communication with him. It's stupid. Like, life is so short. Like, I don't get why people do stupid things like that. And I'm gonna discuss, you know, I'm gonna discuss my situation in just a few minutes. But, you know, they're talking about the family. Now, when they did go to look at the venue, Eddie said, you know, he's had time to think, and he thinks he wants to invite his family because their son, it was either Carter or Cruz. Nope, that's Robin's kids. Cruz or whatever. I think it was Cruz that he said. He was giving him a bath, and, you know, he was looking at his beard, and he asked Eddie, does your dad have a beard like that? And, you know, Eddie really couldn't tell him yes or no because he hasn't saw his dad. And then the son asked him, well, why haven't I met my grandparents? And that is really sad. God. Y'all got that big of issues that you can't meet your own grandchild? Whew. It's really sad to hear that, and it's really sad to hear that. So Eddie sent his mother a text message with the invite, and, you know, my heart broke for Eddie in that situation because I'm like, I know that feeling all too well because I've been in that situation. And yeah, I've definitely been in that situation. You know, I don't know if I really want to talk too deep about this situation, but I might. I think I am. So I think it was this time last year, or it might have been earlier. I can't remember exactly. Now, if you guys have been a subscriber of my channel for any time now, you guys do know that you guys do know about me that I was adopted within my family by my aunt. And that's the one that I call my mom, which she is my mother, because I mean, for every sense of the word, she's my mother. She had me since the day that I was born. And my biological mother is her niece. Well, obviously. But yeah, so, you know, I found out about my biological mother when I was 13 or 14. I was 13 years old because in order for my mom to legally adopt me, I had to okay it. And they had to tell me, you know, she had our lawyer tell me. Actually, she had a family friend of mine tell me. And then we met with my lawyer. And, you know, he told me everything. He said, we'll go to court. He asked me, is this what I want to do? You know, do you want her to adopt you or do you want to go with your family? Now, at that time, I didn't really understand what they were saying because I was like, I want to go with them and get to know them. But I also want to stay with my mama. So I was like, if I go with them, can I come back home to her? And they were like, no, if you go with them, you stay with them. Well, I was like, well, obviously I'm staying right here where I've been at for the past 14 years of my life, so I'm not going anywhere else. So we did the adoption, and, you know, we made it legal. I kept my last name, which I kind of wish sometimes I changed that, but, you know, I had my last name for years, so no point in changing it. So, you know, my birth mother and I, we got to know each other, and then maybe it wasn't even a full year that they moved to another state, and they were gone for actually, this was my freshman year of high school when they left. They didn't return back to Texas until it was my senior year. Actually, it was my senior year of high school. So they were gone for about 4 years. Just about 4 years that they were gone. And, we kept in contact with each other over the years, but it faded. The contact faded. And I'm not going to go too deep into why it faded, but there's some issues on, well, it's not issues on both sides. It's issues with her, more specifically. And it's issues that I have with her. I don't feel like she's 100% honest with me about a lot of things in my life. So our relationship faded. But when I moved back to Texas, we tried to spark up a relationship once again, but the issues came up again and we just stopped talking to each other. And then, we had a big blow up when my grandfather, who had cancer, got sick. We had a big blow up then about his care. And, we stopped talking. And then this time last year, she reached out to me. And, actually, let's backtrack. When my grandmother died, I reached out to her, let her know my grandmother had passed away. She didn't respond to me. And then I actually reached out to my brother to tell him to tell her. And then, after that, we didn't have any kind of communication anymore. And then when my mom passed away, I reached out to her to tell her that my mom passed away. And she didn't even respond to my message, kind of like what Eddie's mom did. She didn't respond to my message at all. She ignored it. Like I had, sent her a message saying that I have something really important to talk to you about, and she did not respond to me whatsoever. It wasn't until my cousin told her that you need to reach out to him because his mom passed away. Then she reached out to me. And at that point, when my mom passed away, I said, life is very short, and I have to think about it. I'm not going to tell you guys why we fell out. Again, like I said, I'm going to keep that to myself. But, I was thinking, I'm like, you've lost two people who meant the most to you, your mama and your grandma and your big mama. And I was like, life is very short. And the fact that she reached out to me, I said, that even though someone else had to tell her, I'm like, that does mean a lot to me personally. And I was like, I can live my life in peace because that's all I want at this point is just peace. And I said, I can do that. So, she reached out to me, like I said, last year. And I thought we were moving in the right direction of being cordial with one another. But once again, kind of like with Eddie's mom, I reached out to her just to check on her a few months ago during this whole COVID situation. And my messages have gone unread and unresponded to. So I get where Eddie's coming from. It's hurtful as hell, but you eventually find a way to move forward with your life. Like, I don't even know why she stopped talking to me this time. I don't know if maybe she's, because I've talked about her on this channel. I do know that. I don't know if someone in my family's found my YouTube channel. If they have, I'm not going to, I'm the type of person that I don't apologize for things that I say because I say what I mean and how I feel. If it hurts you, then that's something that you have to deal with, not me. I don't try to attack people, but I just have to say what I think and feel. So let's move over to the dinner that they did, to the sip and see. So all the ladies show up. Robin is early for once, and Karen shows up. Giselle shows up. Then we see Ashley and Candace, Dorothy, and Chris show up. Now, I forgot to tell you guys, Wendy said that she wasn't going to invite Monique to the sip and see. And I understand that. Not inviting her. So, Giselle and Robin and Karen are sitting down. And Giselle is talking about, she was looking up she's like, has anybody's phone been blowing up? And, Robin, like, we're talking about the charges. She says, yes. And she's like, I saw second degree, assault. And I didn't know what that meant. And Robin's like, did you Google it? She said, I sure did. And she started laughing about it. And I was here for Karen. Karen was like, Giselle, that's not funny. Stop laughing. And Karen got up and walked away. I was like, exactly. That shit was not funny. Like, are you serious? This is funny to you, Giselle? I don't understand how she found that shit funny at all. So then, we have the sip and see. Wendy is talking about how she wants her daughter to be like her mom and her sister. And then, she talks to Eddie about the fact that his family didn't show up at all. Excuse me, y'all. And so then, we see the other girls, they're talking. about the charges. And at this point, I was like, okay, Robin and Giselle are both getting on my fucking nerves because they were talking about, well, do you want her to go to jail? Candace said, I want to prosecute it to the fullest extent. So if that means jail time, that means jail time. And, they're talking about that's a little bit extreme. But, I mean, Monique did put her hands on the girl, so what y'all want her to do? Just be like, oh, she hit me, let me move on with my life? Again, like I said earlier, Candace is a different breed of Candace is different from most people who grew up in the hood and are from the streets. They would be ready to fight Monique again. They wouldn't be like pressing charges. But Candace is different. Candace didn't grow up as a fighter. So Candace is going the route that she knows. Press charges against the girl. If it means she goes to jail, oh the fuck well. You should have learned, that's a lesson learned. Don't put your hands on people. Like, again, like I said before, would I press charges against her? No. And I wouldn't, it ain't even because she got kids. It's just because of the fact that I would be ready to fight her on sight. On sight. And I was just looking at Robin and just, I'm like, oh, now y'all feel some type of way. And then Ashley chimed in. I really wish Ashley had just shut up and minded her business, because she said that they both were yelling at each other, which is correct. They both were talking. They were both, elevated pitches in their voices. And then Ashley said that Candace was in Monique's face. Now that's where Ashley had me fucked up at. I'm like, Ashley, you were in the bathroom, so you don't really know what happened in that situation. You are going off of what Monique said to you. You're going off of what Monique said. Yes, they were both going back and forth at each other. But if we're being honest, like I said in the review when the fight happened, Monique's hands were in Candace's face first. Then Candace came back with her hands. So it was on both of them, but Monique's hands were in Candace's face first. So I really wish Ashley had minded her business at that point. And I'm not going to talk about the back and forth between those two, but I really wish I wish Ashley had just, stayed shut because she was in the bathroom. So then they talked to Karen. And, Karen is still in the middle. And I feel like when it comes down to Robin and Giselle, they're the only ones, maybe even Wendy, but I feel like Robin and Giselle more specifically want for Karen to pick a side in this situation. She's in the middle because those are two of her friends. And, Robin is like, Karen, not, she can see that, Candace is emotionally upset. But, it looks like she's on Monique's side. No, it does not. Not to me personally. Let me know in the comment section, let me know what you guys think about that as well. Do you guys feel that Karen is more so on Monique's side or on Candace's side? I feel like Karen is in the middle. She said it. Both of them were at fault for what happened. Even when Monique was over her house, she told Monique she was wrong. So I don't understand where people are coming from. I feel like, again, they all want her to pick a side because we can see where people are aligned. We can. Ashley, she's on Monique's side. Robin and Giselle on Candace's side. Wendy, Candace's side. Karen, straight down the middle. She's not on either one of their sides. She said both of them were wrong. And she even said that, like if she was on Monique's side, why would she say that I would press charges against her if she's on Monique's side? Like, this shit don't make sense to me. It doesn't make any kind of sense. If she was on Monique's side, she would be advocating for her. She would be like, oh no, me personally, I'm gonna press charges against her. That would be a way to stop Candace. If Candace is like trying to get some opinions, some feedback, Karen would have shut it down by saying, oh no, I want to press charges. I would have walked away, or I would have tried to fight her again. Technically, trying to say I would fight her again wouldn't be picking sides. But if she said that I wouldn't have pressed charges against her, you would be like, well, damn, are you defending her? So, yeah, I'm over that. I'm over Robin and Giselle more specifically. But you guys, let me know what you guys think about the episode. What are your thoughts on Candace pressing charges? What are your thoughts on Karen? Do you guys feel like Karen is, in the middle, or do you guys feel like Karen is on Monique's side? Let me know in the comment section below. Until the next video, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. social distance, you guys. I just don't feel like COVID is going anywhere anytime soon because of your dumbass president. But that's going to wrap it up for me with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Until next week, you guys. I'll bit my tongue. Stay safe out there. Again, I said that. But I'm going to repeat it one more time. Stay safe, you guys. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.